Hi, Gemini. It's Lynn from Tinker Tarot. I'm here after a long time to bring you a reading. So it's kind of a personal reading because I haven't really been doing the readings by the sign for quite a long time. I've been doing these sort of generalized ones just for everyone. So here is one more just for you Geminis out there. Anyway, I'm using the transparent tarot at this time. These are the see-through cards, so I have to use this little block to show you. And I've dealt most of the cards out, some of them. And I'm going to tell you from an overview, there is a ton of potential in this reading. There's so much potential. But I feel like you're completing one thing and moving on to another. And one of those things is a relationship. Relationship came to a completion at some point, could have been in the recent past. It could be that one or both of you are just moving on to better things, um, new ventures, whatever the relationship is, whether it's a partnership, um, relationship, regular relationship, or family, whatever. But in the past, you were kind of focused on what was lost in the relationship and not what you gained in that relationship and what still there is to work on. Sometimes we can focus too much on what went wrong or what's going wrong, something like that. I feel like you or the other person were struggling at this time and trying to balance it all on your own, and whether you couldn't recognize what they were doing, one of you could have been struggling financially, didn't have all the resources you needed to, you feel like you don't have all the resources you need to move forward. But part of partnership is relying on one another, taking turns, when they're down, you're up and you're supporting them and helping them and vice versa. This could be with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius person. This person or you, one of you could be making progress and the other one really isn't. And so that's when, like I said, is the time where you're supportive of one another. You're When they're not doing so well, you help them out. And in the Four of Pentacles, we can see one person is doing well. They have a lot of gains. But with gains come responsibility. And if we're not willing to share the gains, it's hard to ask for others to share the responsibilities. So this it's good to help or ask for the help of others, but also share in the wealth, because the responsibilities can weigh you down if you try and take it all yourself or take it all on yourself. So that's that, back to that sharing part, right? um, and so you could need to take a break, take a, take some time to heal, because you could feel vulnerable in this situation, whatever the situation is. You could feel vulnerable, or they do, somebody does, and it could be defensive, withdrawing perhaps. um, but there is sort of a pause happening here for one of you, I think. For one of you, whether this is, like I said, a romantic, business, relationship. Um, and so you need to take a pause to think about your next step, think about your next move, maybe do some healing from this, maybe just from yourself, what you're feeling, like feeling doubt or something, that you're not doing as well as the other person, you're not contributing enough. But I feel like there's so much potential here, a lot of possibility for you going on. And I think some of it is to let something go. It could be a time in the relationship. Like maybe you guys have been together for a long time, and so things are changing in the relationship. It can't always be like when you were 20. You grow, it grows with you. So you go through different chapters in relationship, right? But I know that it's changing in some way for you, Gemini. In the present, you have the Page of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Ten of Pentacles. Is this a 10 or a king? Yeah, the 10. And you have more too, but I want to start with this. So the page is, when we have something to invest, we have some money, time, energy, knowledge, whatever it is to invest. But we're a little naive going into this because we don't know everything about it. We're new, we're inexperienced. We have experience, but just the learning curve, when you're on the learning curve and you're trying to figure out how this place works, or where whatever it is. And that's where the moon comes in. There's a lot of feminine energy in this reading, Gemini, a lot, okay? um so that moon card is there causing a little bit of confusion. You can't really see things clearly, and um through what was and what is. Okay, so you are at the 10, completing something successfully. I want to say you've completed something successfully, some sort of partnership, relationship. Maybe you've grown a family, a home. I don't know, but you've done it successfully. But you've completed it, and now you're back at the page. You also could be helping one of your kids, or a younger person around you who's just starting out, and you're kind of showing them the ropes, teaching them in some way. But I feel like it's you wanting to contribute something, and you're on your way to contribute to something. um but you're and Pentacles are slow moving cards. You're taking your time. Um, then you have the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is a completion card as well, which is why I thought a relationship is ending. But it also is sometimes definitely celebration. There's some sort of glory in this completion, some sort of success, something that you can appreciate. You know what I mean? And um after this completion, it could be one of your kids going off to college, moving out, because we do have that page and the family card there. And then you have the Eight of Wands, which is sudden movement, sudden. All of a sudden, you're traveling, you're communicating, things are happening, they're moving very swiftly along. Okay, and this is sudden. You get sudden news that you all of a sudden have to go somewhere, or you get sudden offer, and it starts tomorrow. It's really fast energy. And I think taking these breaks and thinking things through is beneficial to you, Gemini. Taking a little bit of time to consider, think, um, because there is something that you're going to move on, that's for sure. And you need maybe to get through this moon energy that's coming. Wait till it's past, and then something's going to happen after that. You'll be able to see very clearly. um I think there's a lot of potential for success. Okay, so coming in the future, you begin with the Hanged One. Okay, and so if you see this closely, this is a cocoon. And the cocoon is eventually, or like a beehive, okay? And it's the center of activity. But yet you can't really see what's going on in there. The Hanged One is about watching and listening, but not acting, not doing anything. Again, a pause. Um, there is some sort of creation process happening. Things are definitely happening, but not that you can act or do anything about. You need to sit back and watch and observe at this point. There's a new horizon coming. You also need to be able to see, you know, like there's so much action going on in the hive. What's going on around the hive? What else is going on around here? That's just a big blank picture. So you need to see the other side of something. Okay, you're going to have success observing and taking a look at the bigger picture is going to be successful for you. There's something to celebrate that's I think coming into you. There's an offer or something like that, a new development course, job, creative project, idea, something that's coming in that is a cause for celebration for you. And I think that's because uh, of something you didn't get involved in. Okay? Something you didn't get involved in. Here is the page. Page of Wands right after the Ace of Wands. The page is holding that ace. And like I said, this is new energy. This is doing something that you haven't done before, or perhaps in the way you have done it before, or where you have done it. There's something new about it because you're inexperienced in some way in this new venture. All right. Could be something that you've always had some sort of a passion about, that maybe you believed you couldn't do it before. But now you're thinking, maybe I can actually. Or maybe you needed to grow a little bit before you were able to pursue this. The King of Cups could be a relationship, a new relationship. I think it's some sort of endeavor. The King of Cups is this person is actually really well-rounded person. They're very creative, they're very emotional, they're usually fun and funny. They love being in a relationship and partnership. I don't think they really like to do anything on their own. This offer could come from this King of Cups. This could be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio person. Doesn't have to be, but there also, that could be kind of a sensitive person as well. But anyway, I feel like it is kind of interesting. Then you have the Justice card. So there could be this cause for celebration, could be something to do with the justice system, or something that you've been fighting, dealing with, and a fair decision finally comes out of it. Once both sides are seen, once the bigger picture is put out there. But I feel like something good is happening for you, something that is fair. It's new action, um, and I think there's cause for celebration. Don't forget, in the beginning of that, there was some sort of gestation, something that was taking place that you really didn't have any control of, and that is the legal system. You don't really have, you just have to wait for a long time while remaining silent, right? While not being able to have any control over it. But I think it's going to work out in your favor. Very interesting. Now, in the Tarot of the Old Path, the card that jumped out for you is the High Priestess. And she's about working with the moon energy. She trusting your instincts. Moon energy are feelings that we have. We just, trust something. Even though we can't see it, touch it, feel it. It's like not having that control, but believing because there's signs. You can see the signs. You then have the Six of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Four of Swords. Okay. So there could be someone, this Knight of Rods could be someone from the past. Okay. Sometimes the Knight of Rods represents a Sagittarius or another fire sign, Aries or Leo, someone with a lot of passion, energy, um, they really go after what they want. If they talk about it, they're going to be doing it shortly after. They take action on their feelings, taking action on their ideas. But I feel like you already know this person. They're from the past in some way. And I feel like you or they or somebody had to do some healing from this situation, or could feel vulnerable around this person, not exactly sure what to think. You might need time to think when you're around this person, and may feel vulnerable around them, may feel defenseless in some ways. There could have been some distance between you, time gone by, but I feel like you feel more protected now, in a more protected energy. You don't feel like you've worked on that vulnerability. You've taken some time to heal. You trust your instincts, though. You're really trusting your instincts a lot more, listening to yourself. And then in the cartomancy, which is the regular playing cards, you drew the Ten of Hearts. And the Ten of Hearts is great joy and happiness. It is also a completion card, it's a doorway card. So you feel proud of yourself, I think. I think you're happy about what you've been able to accomplish. You're feeling happier these days. Happier. Maybe about the past. You may get a gift or want to give a gift to or from the Queen of Hearts. This is an expression of affection. Sometimes it's a sentimental gift, something that means something to you. It has more value in its meaning than it does in its cost, perhaps. Okay. This gift could be coming from the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts is usually blonde haired, blue eyed, fair kind of skinned person, or fairer skinned person. They're usually a friend, someone who supports you, someone who believes in you, loves you. Could even be a mother figure. But anyway, I feel like they can see a lot of potential. They're trying to help you make your wishes come true, your desires. I think they know what they are, or what some of them are, and they're trying to help you be happy. But I feel like you might get some sort of a gift. It could be money, it could be of value, but to you, it's the meaning, what it means, to get this. All right. They give this to you because they love you. Because they love you. There's nothing in it for them. And then the last card you get is number 34, in the world, not of the world. Okay. So this is interesting that you got this card, because this card is about outgrowing something. And you can see that in all the tens that you got here. There's something that you've completed. You've grown a lot and learned a lot from these experiences, these jobs, these relationships, whatever it is, but you've outgrown them now and you're ready for something different, something new. It could be a new place, you know. You could be moving too with all the tens you have. You could be moving literally. And you got the Eight of Wands. So there's a lot of travel involved. You could be traveling, but there's something you've outgrown here. I'll tell you what the book says. Sometimes we need our defenses. At other times, it's clear we are outgrowing them. There is something you have outgrown. It has to do with your ideas about productivity, time, control, and money. It has to do with abundance, trust, and living with the belief that everything is going to turn out okay. You're ready to be much more vulnerable and exposed in life. Um, but being organized, perfect, in control, or financially secure and stable. You do not need acceptable social face. It's time for you to loosen the strings of your own controlling nature. And we kind of saw a little bit of that in the Four of Pentacles, because the Four of Pentacles is holding on. It's holding on to the credit, to the money, to the place, you know, and not willing to share. And then sometimes getting overwhelmed by that very thing that they are holding on to. When you are not resisting yourself or resisting life, there is less resisting what you need as it comes to you. Um, you are shedding because you know because no matter what the appearance of things, those old forms are too constricting for you. It's almost like your spirit was trying to walk about in shoes several sizes too small. They were starting to pinch. The seams were ripping, and eventually they'll fall apart completely. You're being stripped of internal beliefs that are failing you, perhaps externally as well. Whether this seems to be your choice or not, make no mistake, it's your own spirit in cahoots with the loving spirit that has brought you the situation about. So that is in the Hanged Man too. You know, Hanged Man is also about shedding old beliefs, shedding old belief systems, patterns in our lives, things that we always did or said, you know, believed. And so sometimes this is, you know, your spiritual beliefs too. You might be thinking something different or want to give up something. Anyway, you're being guided to trust. Okay, you understand and know that this is all freeing you. After letting go, there comes a temporary emptiness that provides a greater space for fulfillment to come forth. And there is some sort of fulfillment coming. There's so much potential here with all these aces, tens, you know, you're like in that cocoon, that beehive, gestating, preparing, taking care of, to because you're ready to break the egg and jump out. You know, you want something new. I think at first you might have a hard time letting go of it, parting with it, you know, understanding, you know, the change of it all. But eventually you're going to embrace it because it feels really good. You know, you don't fear it any longer. You may feel vulnerable when you first begin because you're beginning, right? We're all, you know, inexperienced when it comes to something new. We all are. And so we're, you know, not really sure what's going to happen. It's kind of cloudy, like that moon energy. We can't see everything clearly because we've never done it before. We have to learn through this process. So you're fine. You're doing just fine. You're exactly where you should be. And I think that there's big change coming for you, Gemini. It's just going to take off all of a sudden. Just bang, boom. You're doing it. Almost maybe before your feet hit the ground. it's happening. So anyway, I'm very excited for you, and I'd love to hear about it if this relates to you in any way. And I hope you're doing really well, Gemini. I love you so much. Thanks for your patience, for hanging around during my absence and my time I was taking. It really means a lot to me, and I really missed you. So it's nice talking to you again. We'll talk again soon. All right. Bye now.